guess it would help if I hit go live.
I know the countdown came again. I said, we missed something.
So what happened? Hey everybody, it's your girl Coach Cheryl. It is the first Monday of the month, and what does that mean? It is time for Church Girl Chats, and I know y'all see my guests that are on here. We are ready for you all on tonight. So I'm going to ask you to do me a favor right where you are. I want you to look at that share button, and I want you to share with all of your friends. Family friends, girlfriends, boyfriends, people you don't like, just share with everybody. Everybody needs to hear what we're going to be talking about on tonight. Hey, Lady Tate, thanks so much for joining. Be sure to like and share. I want to just introduce myself briefly for those of you who don't know me. My name is Cheryl Thomas. I am a minister, a best-selling author, and a certified Christian life coach. And the first Monday of every month, we host Church Girl Chats, where we inspire women to live the overcoming abundant life that God has called for you to live. And I want to say this. I wanted to do this particular session tonight. We're going to be talking about questions that women want to ask men, but you're too afraid. Have you ever wanted to know how men think about certain topics, certain situations, especially about relationships, but you were just a little afraid to ask? One of the reasons I wanted to do this is because some of you that know me and some of you that don't know me, I was raised in a household of women. My parents had 4 girls, no boys. And so outside of my father, there was no male voice teaching me how men think, how men process. What do they think about women? What do they think about relationships? What's too much? What's not enough? And so I invited Pope 1 and Pope 2 to be on the show with me on tonight. Pastor Nolan Williams and Pastor Jonathan McKnight. I know that they are not strangers to you. And if you are seeing them for the first time, I want you to put on your seatbelts, buckle up. This is going to be a fun ride. But one of the reasons I wanted them on here is because I knew they're going to give you the truth, the absolute truth. Because girls, y'all know sometimes when we're talking to one another, we're trying to soothe people's ego. Like, girl, he really like you. But no, he don't. But we just don't want to say that to you because we're trying to preserve your feelings. I wanted them on here to tell us exactly how men think. So thank you so much for joining the show where we teach women how to love yourself, invest in yourself, value your voice, and experience big fun, because that's why Christ came. He died so that we could have life and life more abundantly. So now Pastor Nolan is the pastor of Ark of the Covenant in Rochester, New York. He is, y'all, he's a native Floridian, straight here from Gainesville, Florida, transplanted into Rochester, and has been a blessing to our family. And so we are so glad to have him here. And if you are from New York, I want y'all to show him some love in the comments. Show him some love right now. Don't let him sit out here by himself and think New York don't love him. So y'all show him some love in the comments to let him know that you are here. And then, of course, we have Pastor Jonathan McKnight, another Gainesville native, now in the city of Orlando, Florida, the pastor of Sanctuary of Praise Ministries. And so they're going to give it to you straight. And I know y'all are like, why are you still talking? It's time to jump into the topic. Hey, Tracy, thanks so much for joining. Like and share. And I see Valerie's on here. Thanks for joining. Hey, Jackie, thanks so much for joining. Oh, and Lady Tate says New York is in the house. She wants to let you know she's here. Hey, Canessa, excuse me, from Ozark is in the house. Hey, Dee Dee. Dee Dee is here. Thanks so much for joining. Everybody be sure to, Deanna is here. Everybody be sure to like and share when you jump on. Do not come on and not share with your family and your friends. So y'all, let's jump in to the topic. But before I jump in, Pastor, did y'all want to say something before we dive deep in?
Pastor Nolan, you can go ahead first. We're just proud of you, Cheryl. You're doing a great job. To all the people who you might want to make somebody like and share tonight, because I want to warn you all, I didn't have time to take any of my medication today. I didn't take it yesterday. I didn't take it Saturday.
Ooh
So
wee.
I'm 3 days with no medication. So whatever comes out tonight,
It's
I
about
just
to be
want y'all
lit.
to know it's gonna be lit. So, but they're provoking me. Cheryl is provoking me. You know how it is. So, not provoking in a bad way, just in a great way. We're gonna have a good time tonight. But I hope that you're mature enough to take the answers without being offended. We're not trying to. Honesty sometimes is just something that we just have to accept, good, bad, or sad. And we're
Absolutely.
gonna have a great time tonight. So we really are proud of you, Cheryl, for Church Girls Chat. You got my home buddy here. We go way back, and we're gonna tell it.
Yes.
We go back to high school, and I'm censoring him to not tell any high school stories. But I'm letting him know we
So what happens in high
we're
school
talking.
stays.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, we got to tell a
we
little
not gonna
bit.
do the only thing.
Right.
The only thing we're gonna do is tell of Eastside High School Mighty Fighting Rams. That's
All
all they need to know.
right, Rams.
All right, so then we gonna
Yes,
so
sir.
Pastor Nolan, it's over in your hands right now.
Yeah, we didn't need to do a little ram jam, but we praise God for this opportunity just to be on Church Girl Talk on that, in the special with Miss Sherry and Pastor Jay. We are pleased to be here on tonight. We often sometimes listen to her and hearing the different topic that she's discussing, and I think this is a very good topic of discussion on tonight, because oftentimes when you're single and you're trying to find someone, you're trying to find how to find that perfect mate for you. I think this is a good way to begin to let our hair down, take your head off, and just begin to kind of be yourself. And hopefully, we can say something tonight that will encourage someone to kind of break the cycle in their life and come out of the
Yes.
shell and be willing to connect with someone, because God says it's not good for man to be alone. Amen.
All right. Well, I'm excited, and so this is and I'll let y'all that are listening in on a secret. This is just a way that I get to ask them questions too. So some of the questions that I got from some of the ladies, I was like, oh yeah, I want to know that. I want the answer to that too. So ladies, don't feel like you're by yourself. We are all here to learn. We're all here to grow, and we're all here to be better. So I want all my singles that are on here, I want you to let me know in the comments. If you are single and you are on, let me know. I want to see who we're talking to make sure we got the right people on here as well. So if you are single, I want to see you in the comments.
There's some married people too. That
Yeah, I
some
see.
questions. I say for even for
Oh,
some of
okay.
these questions, Earl, I see some that there needs to be some married people as well
Okay,
for a
so
couple of
married
your
people,
questions.
y'all
A
stay
couple of
on
your
here,
questions.
marrieds.
Yeah, don't leave. Don't leave, because there's a couple of married questions on here, and then the married people can let some of the single people know some things
Right.
to do what needs to be done. All right, sounds good.
Absolutely. And so if we have some men that are married and single that are on as well, and you want to add to what Pastor Jonathan or Pastor Nolan is saying, y'all let us know that in the comments too. We want to hear your feedback. We want to hear what you have to say as well. And so let's jump into our questions on this evening. And so our first question is it really that hard to make a decision on one woman? Is it hard for men to just to settle down and say, this one woman, done. Is that a hard decision?
Since New York is closer to heaven, I will let him go first.
Well, I would say yes and no. It really
Okay.
depends where you are in life, going through what you're dealing with. And some men are not at a place to where they are mature enough in life to make that decision. So sometimes it comes with the place of being mature enough in life to know what you want and go after it. Most time
Okay.
when men are kind of in their younger ages, in their 20s and stuff, we think, well, I used to think that I got time to find someone, and there was also a fear there
Okay.
of committing to someone because I always
Mhm.
felt like, if I commit, what if something else come along? And I
Mhm.
guess this may not be pertain to that, but I think about the five wise and the five foolish. All
Mhm.
right, it was five wise women in the Bible, and so that kind of lets you know that it could be five women out there that I can choose from. But anyhow, so you
So I
got
got
to
these
make sure
five.
because so you got to try to narrow it down because those five women, they had enough sense to bring oil in their lamp. So that kind of lets you know that there could be five different women, perhaps, that can meet that qualification that you're looking for. So
Okay.
what that the woman that's in that five, she have to really stand out among the other five. I mean,
Okay.
among the other four that are there with her, and that way that man can really choose her and not the other four that is still left there. Because because I really begin to think about this in life, my own personal life, there was easy about four women I could have easily chose to be a
Mhm.
wife, but there was something about the wife that I chose that stood out, above the others. So that's what made me make my decision for choosing Pastor Sheila. It was, all of them had the qualification, and there's a lot of women that have the qualification, but that man has to get to a point in his life to where that woman don't allow him to do things outside of their relationship because a
Right.
man will take advantage if you allow him to take the advantage. And so she has to be secure within herself and to know what she wants and make demands on him,
Mhm.
and not be afraid that if you walk away, God can always send him back.
Mhm.
And I think that's some of the fear that the women have, that if they make too many demands on the man, he's going to walk away from the relationship and not come back. But if you allow us to be in that valley of decision, we're going to be
Mhm.
there. We're going to stay in that place of valley of decision. So it really also depends upon the woman as well, and also the maturity of the man, where he's at in life and what he's trying to accomplish in life.
Okay. I love that. I love that. I got to think about that. Five other women. Four other women. Okay. All right.
I
Yes,
I
sir.
knew Sherry was gonna say something off that, Pastor Nolan. I knew it. I I if I can just tag on it, y'all know I also agree with Pastor Nolan, but I also want to add this. I think one thing that when I'm mentoring young men or trying to talk to them, because I've been on, I got a couple of young men in my church who I've been talking to, and they've been trying to act, who haven't been. One of the issues I want to go back to something that is not an excuse; it's a reality. I think a very important thing that a woman needs to ask a man that she's
Mhm.
interested in or might be interested in her. It is absolutely, I cannot begin to tell you the importance of being mentored by a father.
Mhm.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
See, that's a question that women don't ask
Right.
because I'm going
Right.
to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something, ladies.
Mhm.
If a man has not been mentored by either a natural or spiritual father,
Mhm.
that's the same as that's a question that in my earlier years as a young man, I didn't ask or I didn't know. It's not that anything is wrong with it, but you need to be aware that some people have not been taught. They have not
Right.
been mentored. A young man could have been in an environment where he was taught not to have one woman.
Okay. Okay.
I
Wow.
want y'all to hear what I'm saying.
I'm listening.
Some of this is no different than, I'll use my father as an example. My father taught me, if you're going to you my father's brothers, everybody say, you need a job. You
Mhm.
understand what I'm saying? We were
Right.
taught that. Well, Cheryl, because I know your father has four daughters, but
Mhm.
you know, he's a man's man.
Yes,
You
he
know,
is.
he took care of his family. So if he
Mhm.
would have had a son, he wouldn't have had, his son would not have had to deal with some things that maybe someone who has not been fathered. I know this, that might not be the answer some of y'all want, but you got to, one thing I've learned, you got to do your homework, and your
Mhm.
homework has to be based upon the expectation. I did not say that a young man who has not been fathered is not a good young man. What I'm
Mhm.
saying is, you need to know how people been taught, number
Right.
one. And then, and
Mhm.
number two, the choices of, when you're trying to choose, I'm going to put this on the man for us.
Okay.
Sometimes we don't know what we want.
Okay. Okay.
Sometimes
Okay.
the ladies will take it personal. It might not have nothing to do with you. And
Mhm.
it's what Pastor Nolan says. He's not in the place now to where he even really knows what he wants. How many, how many times, if you look at yourself and I look at myself, we've made choices for the now, but we didn't make choices for the future.
Yes.
A choice for the now can be dangerous if you and the individual by which, for both of you, could be a dangerous situation if you are not taking it to where, I got to look at this for my future spiritually, emotionally, goals, dreams, and whatever. So sometimes it is that
Mhm.
someone's just not settled, they just not mature, some have not been mentored, and some of them, they just trying to find out who they are. Because
Right.
right now, and this is not an excuse, being a black male in America by itself is a task.
Yes.
So a, a woman can ensure to help a man, you heard what Pastor Nolan said, who can help better him, but have
Mhm.
the tactics and wisdom to not act like she his mama.
Okay. Okay.
Because a man really wants, the Bible says plainly, you all are our helpmeet.
Mhm.
But what are you trying to help me meet?
Right.
So that's
Right.
one of the things. And sometimes some men out there are just I mean, you got your some pit bulls and some Rottweilers and some German shepherds and some hound
Mhm.
dogs.
Yes.
So I'm not trying to
Yes.
act like we all victims. Some of them, some jokers just off
Yes.
the chain. But all men, just like all women, are not alike. You got to know
Right.
what you're dealing with. And sometimes a man, as he gets older, he knows himself better.
Okay.
He knows his self. And sometimes that woman has to ask this question:
Okay.
how do you see yourself now? And
Mhm.
how do you see yourself 10 years from now? And a great question a woman can ask a man is, what's your model family and how does it look?
Okay.
That's
How
a
does your
great question.
model family look? Okay.
What's and the responsibilities
Mhm.
of that family?
Okay.
Whether you feel your responsibility is, whether you feel, you don't even have to say my responsibility, because then he gonna think you propose. You can say what you think the responsibility is. What's the responsibility of the wife? And
Mhm.
how do you think a family should be raised? Just right there can answer so many questions.
Okay.
If you don't hear no God,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Okay.
that's where I am with that question.
And I love your answers, both of your answers about, I guess we think as women sometimes that you have the answer or that you know what you want, but you're just maybe playing the field. But maybe you have too many options, or maybe you don't even know what you want. Maybe you don't know yourself enough to know what you want or need in a spouse to be able to commit to somebody. But as you talked about us asking you all questions, how does a woman get you all to communicate without feeling like she is being obtrusive or like she's digging in too far? How does she get you to open up and share and talk?
Well, I would say one of the things to get me to talk, if trying to find out what my interest is,
Mm-hmm.
and as she's trying to find out my interest, that in return is going to spark something in me to also make me ask her about what her interest is in life. So that's one of the things that can get a man to communicate and talk. When you ask him his goals, his dreams, you know, how does he see a family? What does a family look like to him? Those
Mm-hmm.
are the things that will make a man communicate, and you begin to hear the man heart when
Right.
they begin to share those things with you, because now you're talking on something that's close to me, that I can
Mm-hmm.
relate to. So I would say the way to get a man to open up is really trying to ask him about him, and then also ask him about his family structure. Go back to what Pastor was saying. You got to find out that structure of the family. And I often tell women, if you want to find out the way a man is, go to a picnic, a family gathering. You're
Mm-hmm.
gonna find out who they are. You're gonna find out Ray Ray. You're gonna find out Pookie. You're gonna find out how all of them are. You know,
Right.
So if you go to a
Right.
family gathering, you're gonna have a chance to see what you're connecting yourself to, or perhaps what you may need to walk away from.
Okay.
Because when you're at that family gathering, you really gonna see how mom act, how daddy act, how sister act, how auntie act. The good uncle, the bad uncle. You're gonna see all those things kind of come to the surface, especially if you have a family gathering on a picnic and everybody having fun, drinking and doing what they do. That's how we used to do down south.
Mm-hmm.
We come together. You really find out what type of family you're connecting yourself to, and what you connect yourself to is very important, because
Yes.
if you connect to the wrong thing, you're gonna have a wild seed. So you got to be very careful what you connect to. So to get a man to communicate, you really got to tap into where he's at first, and then allow him to open up to you about where he's going. And one of the things, even with the first question, I thought about, um, if a young man watch through life how his parents interact with one another, and what
Mm-hmm.
he see in his mom and what he see in his dad. There was some decision I made in my life as a young man growing up I would not do, that
Mm-hmm.
I've seen certain things that happen in my family. I said I will not be a part of me. So it comes a time in life we can't just blame it on the family. It's your own personal decision how you view
Right.
life,
Right.
that you got to
Yes.
make some
That's good.
choices for your own self, how you want to build your own family. Because mom
Yes.
and dad has built their family. Now you got to build yours. So that's the things you got to begin to think about as a young. So those are some things I thought about. I said, well, when I get married, these are the things I want to make sure I don't do in my marriage, or I don't
Mm-hmm.
do in my family. And these are the things that I want in my family. And those are the things I begin to work on as I begin to look for that woman in life that I was looking for. Because even when I married Pastor Chill, there was things I asked about her
Mm-hmm.
concerning her family that I want to know about. And
Right. Right.
that's what made me make the decision that I made, because we had some of the same interests. She
Mm-hmm.
had some of the same values my mom had, the caring, the nurturing that was in her. That's what
Mm-hmm.
made her stood out above everybody else. So a lot of
Right.
times, I would say it's there. We just got to be willing to commit to it, and move forth in it. So it's there for us.
I love it. I love it.
That's good. I think Pastor is talking from his perspective, and I'm gonna talk from mine, which I love him and his wife. So
Mm-hmm.
those are my people. I think one of the mistakes women make to try to get a man to communicate is they come in with an authoritative position.
Okay.
I can't feel like I'm taking a deposition if you trying to get to know me.
I can't go through my list
This
of
is not.
questions.
Sherry, you can get anything you want from me if I don't feel like you're questioning me on trial.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. So it's
You
how I approach it.
it's like
True.
a lot of people,
True.
men and women do it. We question each other as if though we're taking a final exam or a test. We're not really communicating.
Okay.
We're really, and sometimes the questions you asking the question, but that's really not the answer you're trying to get.
Mhm. Right.
And if I
Right.
ever sense that you being deceitful with your questions, you're not
Mhm.
gonna get many answers from me. I might respond. And
Hmm.
one thing my dad taught me, he said, I heard my dad say this one time, and as a little boy, and it followed me. It has followed me all my life. He said, "You've had your privilege to ask, and I'll take my privilege to either answer or not answer."
That is one thing, and you said it a little bit different. I remember you say we were asking you something, Pastor, and this is what you said. You said an answer is a privilege. You
An
said I
answer is a
don't owe
privilege.
it to you, and I
I don't owe
never
you an answer.
thought about it like that before. I was like, oh, so if I ask a
I don't.
question, you don't owe me an answer.
No, I
I
don't.
get to
It's like
give you
when
one
women
if I
you come
want
up in one.
to.
What's the
Right.
difference in
Right.
a man
Right.
coming up to you, Sherry, and saying, "Y'all do it, y'all"? You a man walk up and ask a woman, "How much you weigh?" or "How old are you?" What you gonna do?
Nana.
Come on.
Most women gonna be like,
Exactly.
"That ain't your business.
Right.
How much you weigh? Is that
Hmm.
your hair?" Y'all gonna say that ain't no answer. Is if you can't tell me I'm rude if
Mhm.
I'm just knowing you. And
Right.
and with today's life, with social media, with everything, you go out there and spill your life and you don't even know the intent of the person. First of all, I need um um to be able to open up. um I gotta know I can, before I just go and spill me. I
Mhm.
gotta know I can trust you. I see a comment
Right.
right now, and sometimes, and I'm tell you something right now. I want to respond to that comment. Sometimes women got levels or layers of transparency, and I
Mhm.
fully understand. I've been out here. Y'all got you got a level. You all have levels of transparency with your own
Hmm.
friends. You know
True.
what friend you
Right.
can tell
What
what
to?
thing to. You
Yep.
can tell some
Right.
people, and it's the same with all of us. Let's just be grown. There's
Yeah.
some things you can say to Pastor
Right.
Nolan
Mhm.
that I might not be able to say to someone else because he has a history of loyalty in my life. So he
Right.
can come and ask me some things, and somebody else might come along. The same with you, Cheryl. That you can ask me some stuff. I'll be like, I'm gonna be totally. Y'all know me. I'm gonna
Mhm.
be honest. But
Right.
then if you coming off the cuff and say, well, um, what happened to this and what happened to this and why do you? I'm saying, wait. First of all, you not even proven.
Right. Right.
And why are you asking me these things if you want? Let's deal with the basic before we get into in-depth layers of communication.
Right.
Mhm.
Let me find out whether or not I can trust you not to
Right.
have a can't. Loyalty is important to me.
Right.
Loyalty is crucial. I want to say that every person, male or female, real friends and real people are
Yes.
hard to find. And
So
when you
true.
find someone, and I'm telling you, and Sherry, go back to it. You know, y'all got layers. You got girlfriends. You got
True.
levels of friends and girlfriends that you can tell certain things to, but you might can tell Leslie and Val one thing, but you can't tell it to someone. It might be another friend that y'all got a common bond and something else, and you know who you can share with. So for someone to just
Absolutely.
start asking you a question and you want to communicate, and I want to get to know you. No, no, know me in
Mhm.
one conversation, you're not gonna know me in one conversation. So to get us to talk, you got to be strategic, honest,
Mhm.
And basic is, you gotta be basic. You you
Mhm.
you gotta you got to work your way into, oh, you ain't tell me that. You must be got something to hide. See, if you start thinking like that,
Right.
no, it's not that I'm hiding something. Can I trust you?
Right.
Because if we're talking about living a future together, can I put your name on the checking account? Can I put
Mhm.
can I trust you to
Right.
protect? I say this to our church all the time. Just preach the message. It's one thing to hold my hand. It's
Mhm.
another thing to hold my heart. And everybody holding your hand is not holding your heart.
Yeah, or it's
So when you
capable to hold your heart.
that's right. When you want communication, you have to make sure that your transparency. I heard somebody make a great comment that your transparency is not just a bait to get
Right.
someone to. People play people in conversations.
Right.
And one thing I can hear, I thank God for the anointing. I might not can catch them all, but I can hear deceit.
Mhm.
I can hear why is that question coming
Mhm.
already?
Right.
So you have to be able to know. You just find out the people and do basic conversation. And
And
don't
I
don't
like
don't act like you. Go ahead.
I like what you're saying is because what I'm hearing is maybe sometimes we're asking um some very sensitive questions too soon, and we haven't earned trust to be asking some of the questions that we may be asking, because you have to trust that the information that you give to me, that I am trustworthy to handle what you tell me, especially when you make the analogy about, you may be able to hold my hand, but maybe you can't hold my heart. A lot of times we think that, you know or we know that we're trustworthy, but we haven't proven to that man, to that person,
Right.
that we are trustworthy. And those are things that just take time. It doesn't happen overnight. And so I have to be sensitive um, to your level of trust, and not try to rush the process. Like I can't do like I usually do sometimes. I got my 25 questions. I need to run these questions by you, and depend on how you answer them, depend on
Right.
how this relationship will progress, instead of just like letting it naturally progress. Like, do I like you as a person, or could we be friends? Because for me, that's important, to have somebody, not that I just love, but somebody that I like. I like them as
Yeah.
a person. If we weren't anything
Right.
but friends, I'd be cool with that, because I think you are a great guy. I just want to be your friend. We don't even have to be anything outside of that. So I think sometimes maybe we don't do a good job of just letting relationships and friendships just naturally happen, and then
Right.
let see where they'll go. See where they'll go.
You said something. When you was talking about when a man hold your hand. See, sometimes when a man hold your hand, he may be communicating something totally different than what you think he's communicating.
Right,
You know,
right,
if a man is holding your hand, that doesn't mean that he love you right away.
right.
He you see what I'm saying? And sometimes women tend to take that to a whole nother place. They think because he's holding my hand, oh, he loved me, girl. He held my hand. We walked, through the mall together. Yeah, he's saying I like you, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
not in love with you. Let's see where this go, and don't
Right.
Right.
rush the process, because if you listen to the man, he gonna tell you where he's trying to go. If you
Mm-hmm.
listen to him right, he's going to spill his heart eventually, and you'll know which direction you need to take. But most time, women tend to give their heart quicker than a man give his heart,
Yes.
because men, we were born to chase.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of our nature. We like, we hunt, we chase stuff, so that's part of our nature. Uh,
Right.
that a man, because think about what a man does. He hunts. He's always looking for something. He's trying to fix something. So you have to allow that process to walk itself out, and don't always ask, "Do you love me?" When that
Mm-hmm.
time comes, he'll tell you whether he love you or not, because that's what women want. Do you love me? Do you love me? And so if you ask me already, "Do you love me?" Okay, I already I'm got a flag up already. So okay, she's trying to rush the process. She's
Mm-hmm.
trying to move quickly. I know you want to get married. I know you want someone to be a part of your life, but let's walk it out gradually and see where it takes us, as we are walking on this journey together. So I would tell women, don't release your heart so quick. And even someone said that there's many slices to a woman. She's like an orange, you know.
Yes.
So in one of the comments there.
It really nailed it.
So yeah, I know you seen it. Yes. So we have to be very, very careful when it comes to men and women, what their body language is saying. Are they speaking the same language? And if you're not speaking the same language, then don't be afraid to ask it, but ask it in a way to where you don't necessarily scare me away, but you're just trying to hear where my heart is and where my mind is at. So because you want to make sure that you don't overstep your boundaries too fast.
Yeah. I remember
Sure,
one
can
of
I
the.
add
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, go ahead.
one thing that I saw in the comment? I think it was from Leslie. I think that's absolutely crucial. Trust takes time.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna tell you all
Hmm.
something that sometimes when you're going through life, you don't know what a person has been through.
Yes.
I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna use me as an example. When I've gone
Right.
through some of the things I've gone through,
Mhm.
I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm just not trusting you off the cuff.
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you something about a man. Men don't admit, rarely do a man admits that something hurt him. Because we've
Mm.
been taught that if you've been hurt or if
Hmm.
something affects you, you're not a real man. Oh, you're a man. You're not. That ain't not supposed. That is not true.
Mhm.
True.
And one of the things that men don't do that women have mastered
Mhm.
is express themselves, and that's why you see so many. I'm gonna take this all the way out there. Some
Mhm.
men just end up snapping when they done. I've had men come to me and say, "I came to you as a last resort,
Right.
and if you don't talk to me, I'm about to do something crazy." And I
Wow.
just let them. I just That's why you see the murder suicides. That's why you see the losing it. And that's not an excuse. What I'm saying to you is you have to try, like you said about being a friend.
Mhm.
You sometimes a man won't even tell his friends he been hurt by a woman.
Right. Right. Is
Cause
that
his
the
ego.
pride part?
We his ego is
Yes.
pride.
Yeah.
Everybody want to be
Yes.
Mac Daddy.
Mhm.
Everybody want to
Yes,
be,
sir.
you taught in the streets. You taught in the street. Don't let her hurt you. Don't did that. Oh man, you weak. You
Mhm.
weak.
Right.
You crying. Why tears in your eyes, man? Just treat them like the bus stop. It's another bench a mile up the road.
The
No,
bus stop.
that's the way. Yeah, treat no. In other words,
Get
another
on,
bus
get
gonna
on.
come along.
Another one's coming.
Yes,
Another one
Okay.
coming.
yes, sir, Doc.
So, but a man who cared or
Mhm.
cares for a woman, it's not that easy to process.
Right.
Hmm.
And men have been taught, especially the black men, we've been
Yes.
taught that if we are emotional, we are a weak man.
Mhm.
Matter of fact, they'll say you acting like a woman.
Mhm.
So you got to be able to know. Some women want any romantic man,
Mhm.
but they don't want an emotional one. I just said something then. Catch that.
Oh, can you have
No,
truly
think
romantic?
about
I'm
what
not
I
talking
just
about going
said.
through
Yeah,
the
yeah,
motions. Can you have?
No,
Can
I'm
you?
talking about romantic.
man.
Okay.
Like you all, like women like to be romanced.
Absolutely.
You don't just want flowers on Valentine's,
No, sir.
and you don't want just a cake on your birthday.
Right.
You want the rose. You want coming to America. You want them petals to come all the
Yes.
way from
Throw them
the
out.
edge. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? But
I will admit it. Just it's
but
truth.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. If a man tells you the truth
Mhm.
and is emotional
Mhm.
about it, what is that going? What does that say to the average society? What does that say?
Well,
Meaning,
I know for men, it
if he
probably would
says you
be.
hurt my feelings, if he said you hurt my feelings,
Mhm.
the woman told, oh, I don't. I,
Some
a lot of
women,
women, no, but
and
a
maybe a
lot.
lot of women, but
Let, but I'm
keep going.
saying
Go ahead.
they want communication.
Right.
They want emotions. They want to know how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
I tell people all the time, uh, some women want a romantic. She want him to know how to romance her, which is perfectly fine.
Right.
But are you willing to listen, cater, and nurture just like you want him to
Mm-hmm.
feel? I need you to feel me. I need you to feel. Okay. What if that man trusts you enough to show
Mm-hmm.
you his real feelings,
Mm-hmm.
which we're taught not to? We're not taught to tell y'all how we feel. We're taught to keep our feelings away from you so you won't use it as a weapon against us.
Right. Right.
We taught that don't tell her that, bro, cause she gonna be able to push your button whenever she get ready.
Right.
It goes
Right.
back to trust.
Yeah.
It
And
goes back to friendship.
it does. And I think that's powerful because it is tr- totally trusting someone that I can show you the vulnerable parts of me and trust that, like you said, that you won't use that against me, or that now you won't think that I'm weak, or now that you won't think less of me because I shared that part of my heart with you. But I think a real woman would not do that to you, because and I'm going to speak for myself, because I'd be honored that you've trusted me enough to tell me that.
That's trust.
And
That's
I
my
would
point.
know, okay, I know he ain't told nobody that. And so that has to die with me. That can't go, I mean, that nobody else, a real woman, especially one that's meant for you, is not going to take the vulnerable parts of you and share that with anybody else, because she also sees herself as covering you, as a cover for you. Just like we want men to cover us, a woman's got to cover, especially a man's heart, the most vulnerable part of him. So you got to trust a woman to cover you. So that's a trust in a whole different thing. I don't think we talk about that a lot, especially when we're talking about relationships and how women, we want men to cover us, emotionally, financially, spiritually, all of that, but also seeing ourselves as covering for them too, because
Mm-hmm.
of who you are, and because how society has taught you how you should be, how you should always guard your heart, and how you should always be what a lot of people call the man's man, and you shouldn't show feelings, you shouldn't show emotions. But I will admit, she does have to be a special kind of woman that you can trust with that part of you. Trust that she won't take your vulnerability and weaponize it, won't use it against you. Even if she doesn't tell it to anybody else, that she won't use it in your relationship as some kind of weapon to hold over you. So that is true.
But it also gonna a woman matures a lot quicker than a man. You just say
Yeah.
that sometimes a woman matures what 10 to 12 years quicker than a man do. So that's part of that covering that you're talking about. Because like I said, when we're in our 20s, we're still trying to find out who we are. We're trying to find our way. And that's it's good and it's bad. And if you have a woman there, like you're saying, that's covering you in that time and that moment, uh, that's what's going to make her stand above the other women. She's taking time to make sure that she don't expose that part of me, and she's making sure I'm protected in that area. She's trying to protect my emotions. She's trying to protect me as a person, and so that's really going to stand out to him. And most time, when a man or a woman, they're looking for a mate. They sometimes kind of marry someone kind of like their mother, or the woman going to marry someone similar to their father.
Right.
Because that's what we're used to. That's the environment we've been around. So we tend to look for that when it comes to relationships and building a bond with someone. So when it goes back, like you said, that covering part, that is so key and so important in a relationship that a man can feel safe with a woman that know that she's going to be there regardless of what he's going through. Because he can look and see all these other women out there, but there's always going to be something special about you that he know that you're covering him. and that will always drive him back to the place where he need to be. And especially if he sees some qualities that he see in his mom, that he's been brought up, that nurturing, that loving. And if he hasn't, now you got to try to teach him how to be loved,
Right.
and that's a whole nother subject, trying to teach
Whoa.
him how to be loved. Because he's come from an environment that he hasn't been embraced, he hasn't been protected, and now you got this woman that's coming along now trying to tap into that place. That's really gonna make you stand out above anyone else that comes along in that relationship, because he's always gonna remember that when I didn't know love, she taught me how to love.
Mhm.
She covered me in that place and made me who I am today, the young man that I'm trying to be. She's helped build that part of me in life. But yeah, I think that's part that women don't realize. Even in dating, you're building something, because he that find that word right there is very key. He that find a wife, find a what, a good thing, or what, obtain favor from the Lord. So when that man finds you, he'll know that's right for me, and he ain't gonna let it get too far from him.
Right. Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. Let me jump to this questions. It says, what are some behaviors that scare men off? Behaviors that scare men off.
Pastor Nolan, you'll let me go first.
Yes, I'm gonna let you go first on that one.
Extreme moodiness.
Okay. Extreme moodiness.
Um,
Okay.
extreme moodiness.
Mm-hmm.
Um, unstable emotions.
Okay.
And something that runs me off is when you have me trying, you are silently having me to try to make up for something that I didn't do.
Okay. So we bring
You
when we bring
want me,
baggage.
you want me to make up for what maybe the previous man has done that I had nothing to do with.
Right.
And
Right.
now everything about what you've been in,
Hmm.
you're trying to test me.
Okay.
It's a preconceived notion. I don't think it should be done with women either.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we are guilty of not being healed of relationships,
Right.
and we bring the
Mm-hmm.
baggage, like you say, Cheryl, and we bring the baggage uh, in, and when I say extreme moodiness,
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about. I ain't just talking about emotional. And can I just be honest? Are grown people on this show? You're not gonna use your cycle to mistreat me.
Hmm.
So we can't keep saying that.
No, because some people have three. They have pre,
Three in a month.
present, and post. They have the pre cycle, they have a present cycle, and they have a post cycle. It's getting ready to come on. It's on, and
It just
it
went off.
just came off. So
Yes,
I
sir.
ain't got but 1 week in the month to even deal with you. So, but here's the other thing. One thing that I've learned, period,
Mm-hmm.
is there's some there are a lot of women with anger management issues.
Okay. Wow.
I want you to one day. I want you to do a show. I can't tell you how to do your show,
Mm-hmm.
but it's more, Cheryl. I promise you, as a pastor,
Wow. Okay.
it is more than what a man ain't gonna tell he been abused.
Okay.
There are women who have tempers.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
There, yes, ruling elder Damon, you know me. I went there. I had a license and a passport. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I'm talking to help people.
Yes,
And if you
sir.
don't want to ask me, and we that's something we gotta face. It's the diary of a mad black woman is in more than a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
And if that's male or female,
Right, right.
Anger management issues. If you get two people in a marriage with tempers,
Mm-hmm. Wow.
even sometimes the Holy Ghost gonna leave that house. Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, if you can't control your emotions,
Yes.
that's a sign to me that you got anger management issues.
Right.
Meaning, if you can hit 0 to 20 in just one little thing, it's not just against a spouse. Sometimes it's against kids. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
people just on edge. And
Wow.
I have to have peace. I
Yes.
think
Yes.
your posture, how you respond to things you that maybe you didn't like the answer. If you just get mad, just no. You got some issues that I ain't
Mm-hmm.
got nothing to deal with, and it's my choice whether or not I want to take those issues or not.
Right.
But
Right.
the one of the quickest ways to get me to get on Delta or American or Southwest is when I feel like you're unstable, you're moody,
Mm-hmm.
and you get angry quickly, not just at me,
Mm-hmm.
anything,
Right.
Right.
anything.
Yeah.
You, I'm gonna see how you talk to your mother. I'm gonna see how you
Mm-hmm.
respond to your sister. I'm gonna see how you talk about your boss. See, I have to live in peace. What I
Mm-hmm.
do to try to hear from God
Mm-hmm.
and lead people to
Right.
heaven, I need peace.
Mm-hmm.
That's not to say we don't get upset or we might not, but I'm talking about just the unnecessary stuff.
Right.
Like
Right.
you wanna fight somebody, or you wanna tell somebody, oh, they left the ketchup off the hamburger. Now they angry with everybody in Wendy's. And they want me to go in there and tell everybody, you know, if you want your hamburger to be perfect, you should have cooked it.
Yes, sir.
Never expect from someone else. Don't expect from someone else what you can do yourself. And if you want
Amen.
to run Jonathan McKnight off, you let me think that you can't control because I'm in ministry.
Right.
And you just can't go off on a member. You just can't tell off something. You just can't know.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, seriously. I'm just serious.
Keep it
Y'all know
real.
me. Don't invite me
Yeah.
to this show
Yes,
because
sir.
you know we try. Cheryl know why she invited me because she know
And
I'm
that's
not
why
gonna do
y'all
it.
are here. Because I want somebody that's gonna tell it like it is.
I'm
Yes,
not
sir.
coming in here talking about
Yes.
thus saith the Lord thou
The
goddess.
Lord. Yes,
No.
sir. Yeah.
No at
We need to
all.
hear the truth.
Yeah.
We need the truth.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Pastor
Yeah. You
Nolan.
need a woman that you need a woman that can be seen but not always heard.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
because
Okay.
all right, you know, I can see you, but I don't have to always hear you. I can know
Mm-hmm.
you're there, but it's all about how you present yourself and bring yourself before people. So yeah, you don't need a woman that's out of control, saying
Mm-hmm.
stuff that is not right. Um, you're always angry, like Pastor was saying. You need a woman that knows how to control herself. It should never
Yes.
just be about you. When it becomes
Mm-hmm.
just about you lose me then. And
Right.
most time, we can see a man can see the sign folly because women, even men, sometimes you wear the sign on you. All
Yeah.
right, you
Yep.
you you advertising and don't realize how much you advertising. You
Mm-hmm.
think you're covering up, but you're not covering because sooner or later, that flag gonna wave up in the air and it's gonna tell who you really are. So, as Pastor, you got to be healed within yourself.
Yes.
Stop jumping from relationship to relationship because when you bring baggage into another relationship and now you're judging me to something that is previous that you went through, I don't want to deal with that. I'm going to
Right.
soon exit myself out the door because I realize you got issues already, and when you got issues, I
Right.
don't need you to bring your issues when I'm trying to also fix me myself. I got enough dealing with me because as I was telling her, I think I was speaking the other week about a woman need to be whole before she get into a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
A man is not there to make you whole. He's simply there to help complement and bring you up to to some standards that you want to be, but you should be whole within yourself. Because if you're not whole within yourself, and now you got another person that's whole, you got two broken pieces. And the thing about
Yeah.
it, if you got two broken pieces, those pieces didn't break from the same tree.
Right.
Wow.
All right, they
Okay.
came. You see what I'm saying? They came from different
gorilla glue can
places.
kill everything easy.
Can't put that. Yes, sir. You can't put that
No gorilla
together.
glue.
You can't put that together. Yes, sir. I don't care how you
Hey,
try to chip it away, but you got to be whole within yourself. And so
Mhm.
when you come, we got two broke people from two different places, it's gonna cause chaos in the relationship. Because now you're gonna try to compare me to somebody else or what they did previously to you. No,
Right.
that's not me. That's not what I did. I may have done something that was similar, but that's not who I am. So don't
Right.
judge me
right.
according to that. And that's one of the things that can run any man or any woman away from a relationship, because they hear your past rather than seeing that you hold for your future. I want a woman to be whole for her future, because
Right.
Right.
if I can see that you're a nice fit together piece, that's what's going to attract me. That's what's going to get my attention, to make me look at you all over again. You know what? This woman, like, she got herself together. All right, she got everything in place. That's what's going to grab my attention. But if I hear you coming and you always the loudest one in the room, I'm soon gonna tip out of that room. And Doc, did you hear her? Did you hear that thing is a hot
Yeah.
mess.
When
You
she
know, man, we gonna talk.
when
We gonna
anything
say
could come
that's
out
a
that
hot
mouth, boy,
mess
I'm
there.
telling you.
What?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And I,
Sure.
like
Sure.
my father-in-law, I think he might have told Ruling the other day one time, you can have all that. So I don't need nothing like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want something
Sure.
that's together,
Sure. I got something. I'm gonna give
that
you a
can
nugget.
really bring and help complement me. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Can I give you this nugget? My
Absolutely.
last thing. My last thing is this. When she's willing to spend $1 million on her external and a stimulus
Uh-oh.
check on her internal. I
So
want you
she
to
got
catch
her
what I just said.
priorities messed up.
When she's willing to spend
Way
a
messed up.
million dollars on her
Mhm.
external and she wants stimulus checks for her internal, when
All
everything
right.
about her is outside of her,
Mhm.
there's nothing wrong with looking good externally.
Right.
She
Right.
invests everything with her external
Mhm.
and don't understand that a real man gonna look at what comes from her mouth.
Right.
He's gonna look at her spirit. That's not the. Uh, it's not to say you're supposed to be going around, you know, um, talking, oh bless the Lord, giving praise, because if we home, even women in ministry is good. Let me tell you something right now. It's good for a woman to be in ministry. She could be anointed. She could preach. She could
Hmm.
lay hands on, prophesy in the church.
In
But
the church.
when she
In
home,
the
I don't
church.
need a revival. I'm already saved.
Come on. I need
I
some.
She
don't
I
need
need
that
need
at
some
the
coming up
healing
to
church.
me
in the
talking about.
land.
I don't need her coming
Lay
up to me
hands
talking
on
about.
me.
And the Lord showed me again, and I'm getting a prophecy every day.
Right.
No, the
Hmm.
Lord need to show you the mall, and He need to show you going in the mall and making the right going to Victoria's Secret. That's what the Lord need to be showing you right now.
Come on.
Show
I'll
you the
let y'all
right
talk. I'll
thing.
let y'all. Yeah, that's
Yes,
right.
sir.
That's
Yes,
what the
sir.
Lord need to be showing you.
Help Jesus.
I love it. I love it. This is good. This is good. Okay, I know we're gonna have to have a part two for this, but I'm gonna wrap up with let me see. No, I got two more questions. One question is, what are warning signs that a man is not interested? How can we know that a man is not interested?
Is it a warning? Is it a okay? Is it a
Like before I get too
war?
deep in it.
Well, the way you prevent that is this: you got to have an honest conversation about how we viewing each other. Some you said to was very powerful, Cheryl. Cheryl, to me, is that if a woman can go into a situation and say, hey, look, I want to get to know you as a person and as a friend. So if it doesn't work out as a relationship, it's
Mm-hmm.
still not a waste. It's
Right.
still not lost.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes a warning sign from a man, and I'm going to say it like this, just because a man does not respond right away, it doesn't mean he's not interested in you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
A warning sign to me that a man is not interested is he asks you nothing about what makes you happy, nothing
Okay.
about your future, and do not say this: how can I help you become better or your dreams come true? To
Okay.
me, it's a warning sign when anybody's not interested in you becoming better. And
Okay.
sometimes you can keep it that way. And it doesn't always mean because he don't send you a post every day, or if a woman want a social media guru, I'm not her guy. I'm just not her guy. It's just not gonna happen.
Right.
I just
Mm-hmm.
I'll do my YouTube to do ministry, but I don't need 5,000, 10,000 friends. I don't know how many friends I can have on Facebook and YouTube. I don't need that because to me, the more access, the more spirit. So I just let people do what they do, and I don't have nothing against it. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying just because somebody don't engage like everyone else does not mean that a man. You might have met a busy man. You might have
Mm-hmm.
met you might have met a man with a what if he can call you 20 times in a day, 9 times 10 he ain't got no job. If some I'm being honest.
Right.
What you want, and it might could be a text, it might could be whatever, but a sign that a man to me is not interested, he's not willing to contribute, not always finance, just care, concern about the betterment of your future.
Right.
I think a warning sign, if they don't want you to be better, you don't even
Mm-hmm.
want to be in a relationship with nobody that don't want you better.
Right. Right.
And a warning sign is not whether or not I call him and he didn't call me back right. Well, okay, maybe there's a situation that he's dealing with. You
Right.
don't know. You don't assume that people don't care. You just have to give some people some time. You just don't know. The big mistake that many people make is you don't know where a person is and
Mm-hmm.
you don't know where they've been.
Right.
Because there's been some people that call somebody all throughout the day, but guess why they was calling all day? To know where you at. Because they doing
Mm-hmm.
something they ain't should be doing. So they keeping up with you. Oh, he called me 15 times. Okay, he did. So he
Mm-hmm.
can make sure you're not around the corner.
Right. Right. Don't cross paths.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, where you at? You at the tell me where you at? You at the crab store? No, don't go. We going to the steak restaurant. See what I'm saying?
Right.
A
Right.
warning
Okay.
sign that a man is not interested is when he doesn't care about you being a better person. That's the number one thing for me.
Okay.
Um, it's not necessarily calling right away or because me, I mean, and then ladies, you can't. If I don't respond, sometimes I don't have. Sometimes I don't. Y'all don't take this wrong. Everybody know I love my mama. Everybody know my mama love me and my baby. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I've had to tell my mom, hey, today I've dealt with 3 deaths today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've dealt with 3 deaths today,
Right.
and 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 I might not can, I can't respond to everything.
Right.
Sometimes you got to understand that does he care about me?
Right.
If he don't
Okay.
care about you, he can be around you all day long, and it still ain't gonna change nothing.
True. True. I love
Pastor,
that.
that's it's on you.
Pastor
Oh, that's
Nolan.
good. I mean, yeah, he made it very plain. When it becomes about that person and not about you,
Mm-hmm.
and your well-being and where you're going and where you're headed, at least you know that he's more focused on what he can get from you rather than what he can contribute to you. You need a man that can contribute to you and not
Right.
just take from you, because we have a lot of men now always there in the taking business.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to be able to contribute something. So you always got to do something. You got to make the initiative, always do things. It lets you know that you're there just to be used by him. Because everything that comes up, you come up with the idea of going out. You come up with the idea, let's go to the mall. It's always about what you are saying to get him to respond to you. No, he need to respond to me. That way, I know that he's there um, for the relationship and interested in what I want to do and trying to make me happy. Because if
Right.
he's truly into you, he's going to do things to make you happy. He's
Right.
going to do things to get a response from you. So you want to make sure that he's doing things to get a response from you, not you just getting a response from him. So that's when you know that a man is really interested in you.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. I'm gonna. Whew, some good questions, but I'm gonna make this one the last question. Uh, do guys mind a woman making the first move?
Pastor, I'll let you go first. You're in a different position than me, and I'll give my first, and I'll let you give.
well, well, I would say no. I mean, what do you mean by making the first move? Are you asking you to go out, or what are you saying? But anyhow, but yeah, I mean,
Letting you know she's interested before you have said anything to her.
yeah, I think it's okay because sometimes a man may not even know that you're interested in him. So
Hmm.
it's okay, I think, to let him know that you're interested in him. Now it's up to him where he take it from there. Now,
Okay.
you can make it known, but now don't you start trying to run him down to pursue him. Make it
Okay.
known to him, let him hear where you are, and see where it goes from there. So I think it could be okay that if a woman will let you know, because sometimes you may be around people and have no idea that they are attracted to you, or are interested in trying to get to know who you are as a person. So I think it's good sometimes maybe to let a man know, that you are interested in him. Um, but just to be very careful with that. Like I said,
Okay.
just make sure, because if you're letting that man know that you're interested in him, you got to be very careful because there's some
Okay.
emotions already building up there.
Right.
All right, you got to be very
Yes.
careful. You got to pump the brakes a little bit on that, because
Okay.
now that's telling me that you're already trying to be connected to me, and I have no idea about it.
Right.
All
Okay.
right. So she has to be very careful that she don't put her, like I said, her heart out there too quick. Like as
Hmm.
I told you before, when Pastor like Solomon say, don't wake love before it's time. And most time we want to wake love before it's time. We want to tell you I love you and I'm crazy about you. No, pump the brakes, slow it down, get to know them, talk with them, see where they are before you fully lend your heart to anybody. Because one of the hardest things is to bring your heart back into check. All right,
Yes.
you can put your heart out there, but it's hard to pull it back. They're not gonna be there when you land up there crying lonely at night,
Right.
wishing that they will come back. No, you got to pump the brakes and slow it down, because that man will take your heart, or that woman will take your heart, and they'll run with it.
Right.
So you got to slow it down and be willing to wait it out. I use old script, wait upon what shall we renew this strength. So, you got to wait and get some strength. If you feel like you're in there too quick, say, Lord, slow me down. Help me
Right.
pump my brakes. Because right now, I put my heart out there. I put my emotion out there. And when you don't get the response from them that you want, y'all kind of go postal sometimes. So so you I gave him my heart, and this negro acting like this, he know I liked him. No, slow your roll down, you know because you don't put your heart out there too quick, and now you all emotionally tied
Right.
up into this, and now we're trying to figure out where all this energy coming from. You got to slow it down, baby. I didn't know you had that much energy already. You already got me scared. So
Right.
so you got to it's all right to let them know, but make sure you don't
Right.
put your emotion out there too quick, because men can sense when you're out there already.
Right.
We can sense when you're there, like, Doc, she there already. I mean, she full 100, and now you calling me, checking up on me, and we just went on one date.
Right. Right.
You
Right.
calling, checking. you know, he blowing up my phone.
Stalking.
Where you at? What? You texting me.
Hmm.
No, don't do all that right now, because, I know women want to be, and men want to be loved as well.
Yes.
But there comes a time we got to learn how to walk our way into a relationship and not jump full head into it. You know, that's my opinion.
I love it. I love it. Pastor Jonathan?
Oh Lord, I
Praise
feel
God.
like I need to go to the altar of submission.
Oh
See,
Lord. Hey, Pastor,
no,
Pastor,
no,
before we that,
no.
Pastor, look at that comment. Is it okay to lay at his feet? You know who's saying that. Look at that,
A
Pastor.
a a my
You
niece. No, that is my niece.
you see
That's
her,
my niece
you see her,
Didi.
Pastor. You
Let me
hear her,
tell you
don't you?
something.
Tell her,
Obviously,
let
that
tell
question
off.
is for. Obviously, that question is for your pastor, who is your father. The other feet got to have socks on them. Okay, Didi. I will be
That's a
dealing with
hot
you
mess.
after this. I will deal with you after this.
I
You
had
know
to
it's
put it
coming.
up there.
I'm glad you.
Yes,
Is it
she
okay
did.
if we
That's a
lay it?
hot mess.
First of all, we know that's not for you because your name is Deanna. It's not Esther, and there's not that much going on right now. I
It's
will be dealing
true.
with you.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
Yes,
my
sir.
God, I felt the
That's a
spirit
hot
right there.
mess.
Rebuke it. Okay. Now, I think
She said Ruth did
one of the
it.
huh?
She talking about
See,
Ruth did it.
that's when people take the scripture and twist it for their own personal preference. I bind it in
Help him,
Jesus'
Jesus.
name. Oh yes. Didi, you gonna get it. Trust me, you gonna get it. Now, um, two
Oh
things I
my
want
heaven.
two things I want to say, and I will have said enough. One thing I don't think is I think if she's tasteful
Hmm.
and creative,
Okay.
I don't think that's nothing wrong with it. Because
Maybe a better
not
question would be, what would be a tasteful way for her to do that and not
I think
be.
sometimes she just got to be honest and be honest from her
Hmm.
heart. Like, um, uh, you see Val, you see Val, Val. I blessed your house. Now don't get you wouldn't mind me being deep when I bless your house. Now she
She knew you was
no
gonna say
seriously.
something.
Yeah, yeah, that's a spirit that got through her, loose from Didi. Listen to me. I'm serious now. If she could be tasteful, sometimes she can just be honest. I don't think it's. I know the Bible says, "He that findeth a wife." It didn't say a friendship.
Right.
Right.
It said a wife. Now you
Yes.
might find a wife through a friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she might
True.
just want to say, "Hey, look, you know, I think you're a cool guy," or whatever. Long as it's not overbearing and he doesn't sense
Hmm.
that this is just something you do.
Okay. Okay. All
He
right. I
doesn't
get
think
it.
because long as he don't think you got a PhD in it.
This
Okay,
how
y'all
you
will get that.
operate.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This just I'm gonna tell you something that from this subject tonight, I've been listening for myself, and
Hmm.
I think this is very important. And I think that Cheryl, while you were interviewing throughout the whole night, there was something that you were always doing that's attractive to a man if he don't think it's fake, and
Hmm.
that is smiling
Hmm.
and laughing.
Okay.
You're not gonna have
Right.
some some men if they can't get a smile or you don't have the ability to make them smile or laugh.
Right.
A lot of people. I want y'all to listen to something.
Hmm.
Obviously, it's not money. You know what the trending story is today?
What?
That a man that's worth $130 billion, him and
Yes.
his
Bill
wife
Gates.
is getting it. Okay, I want y'all to hear something. I wrote something out
Hmm.
for you, Cheryl. I know you like numbers and statistics. I want
Yes.
y'all to listen to this. Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos is worth
Right.
$201 billion.
Wow.
Him and Mackenzie got divorced. The man
Yep.
makes $113.4 million an hour. He makes
Hmm.
$223,000 a minute and 13
Jeez.
billion. He makes $321 million a day and ended
How
up
much
in
a day
divorce.
Mm.
again?
Three
300
hundred and twenty-one million dollars a day.
Mm.
a day.
A day.
Woo.
He settled his divorce with his wife, Mackenzie. I know Mackenzie's very happy. He gave her $38 billion,
Ah, praise
but
the
it
Lord.
but it didn't work.
Right.
Bill Gates
Truth.
is worth 100. The three out of the four top wealthiest men in the world.
Hmm.
The other one is Elon Musk, who's over Tulsa. He's worth
Right.
$173 billion.
Hmm.
He's been married 3 times.
Wow.
Bill
Wow.
Gates was married for 27 years to Melinda. He's worth 130 billion. So we got three men that's worth $500 billion
Wow. Half a trillion.
and have five divorces, five marriages.
Wow.
So those
That
people who
says
just
something.
thinking, I'm trying to let you know it's deeper than what we're talking about.
Right. True.
Three men worth
Hmm.
$500 billion have gone
Wow.
through five marriages. So money is not
Is not it.
everything in relationships.
Hmm.
Now, if you got enough, you can probably love a little longer, kiss a little longer too. But it didn't work. It didn't
All of that,
work.
it didn't work.
Five
Right.
Right.
hundred billion dollars,
Right.
and their personal lives still didn't work. So it lets me know that all the things that you can obtain
Hmm.
and all the things that you can have, love can still
Right.
defeat money.
Every time.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can get two people who love each other,
Hmm.
can make each other smile, who
Right.
care about each other, who
Hmm.
respect each other, who has God at the center,
Yes.
and who
Right.
understand that our purpose of this relationship is, I was just talking with a couple last week, and I said this to them. And yes, Val, I am getting very deep, real deep. Here's what I said to them. I said, I don't care what y'all do. If God is not in it,
Hmm.
and you all understand that the purpose of us getting together is that God gets the glory,
Hmm.
it's not going to work. A
Hmm.
man and a woman must fully understand that the reason why we are getting together, the ultimate goal, is
Hmm.
not for us to be happy,
Hmm.
is to honor what God is doing through us,
Right.
and we become the
Mm-hmm.
beneficiaries of the
Come on.
love that He's given us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Well, you
my
did go deep in
five.
that. Woo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
That's
and you need to
powerful,
be able to
though.
make each other smile. You need to be
Right.
able to. I was sitting up today thinking about the chat, and the Lord just took me. He said, "Look at the top three out of four of the top richest men in the world all had failed relationships, and some of them
Right.
multiple, worth
Hmm.
$500 billion. The man make $321 million a day,
Right.
and still it didn't work."
Right. And I think sometimes I'm so happy that you just brought that up. I think sometimes, especially as singles, we fantasize about what marriage will be, what it would look like, and we also idolize marriages, couples, and relationships that we know nothing about.
About.
You know, we see people posting and we think they have a great marriage, but we just don't know they just were fighting before they took the picture that
Or
they
before they
posted.
took their or before they took their seat in church.
Right. And so we are
Come on.
we're ascribing happiness to people that are not happy based on,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, finances. We think surely, they have this much money, they have got to be happy. No, not necessarily. There's somebody that's on welfare happier than the
Mm-hmm.
billionaire is. And so I think we have to really redefine what relationships is, what we expect from them, how God honors marriage, how he honors relationships, and if we want a relationship, marriage that is successful, then we really do have to do it God's way. If we want God's results, we can't do it our own way and then ask God to bless our mess. Like, okay, I did it, Lord. I hope you gonna work this out. But if we
Mm-hmm.
start out with Him, then the results that we have will be great. Not that it will be without, trial. Not that we won't go through things, but the end result will be something that both parties are pleased with. So I love
Mm.
the way you talked about that.
Well, sure. If you really think about it, I was telling my church the other week, if we can have sex, a lot of people won't be married.
You know
Simple as
you're
that.
right. You know you're right.
If they
Look at Pastor Face.
just call it what it is. You know what I'm saying? If you can get that need, if you can get that need met, a lot of them will still be single right now.
True.
That's why a lot of them got married because
Mm-hmm.
they that part of them they didn't want to go to hell.
Really?
Right.
Like
Is
Paul
that
said,
why people are getting
Married, better
married?
marry.
better married than to
Lord have
burn.
mercy.
You know, so
Lord,
so they didn't want to
I need
they
to
didn't want
put
to go
on
to
my
hell,
prayers
but
above
they
CD
found out
line,
once you
please.
got they found out once you got married, it's not as often as you think you're gonna get it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, when you out there single, you can flip it up high
Oh,
and low, but once you get married, it ain't often as you think. You tired, you sleepy, you gonna go to sleep. All right, if they
Mm-hmm.
be truthful about the matter, you know. So you gotta, you gotta wear
I
it
need a
out.
drink.
Once it,
My throat, something going on my throat. I need to drink something.
you know, once you get through rolling in the bed and all that, you gotta live with each other. All
Right.
right, that's
Right.
only a
Mm.
small portion of
Mm-hmm.
the relationship. And
Yes.
now once that part has been
Whew.
conquered, now what you gonna do? You know, because when you was out there single, you thought you can do it every day. You thought you was
Mm-hmm.
Hercules and mighty woman. But once you once you got married, you had some kids, you had more responsibility. All that stuff kind of slowed down.
Right.
All right, and especially if she ain't feeling good, she sure enough don't want you to touch her. You know,
That's them 3 cycles.
but
That's them
but
three
but
cycles. That's them
yes,
three cycles.
yeah, you know,
That's them three cycles.
but one thing I tell my wife and even some of my members, it's good for whatever hell shoot. But anyhow, that's a whole nother subject. So
Say this will work for everything.
This this show gonna turn into
but
Showtime. This ain't no godly show. This.
but they gotta understand. You gonna slow down.
Somebody
You
say
got to
everybody better
build a
have a
marriage.
creative mind. Hey,
Come on,
Shaka
yeah,
Michelle.
you got to.
Mm.
So you got to realize you got to have
Mm.
love in this marriage. You got to have love in the religion because the Bible said what love conquers all. And if you ain't got
Right.
no love there, it's not gonna conquer anything. You're gonna find
Right.
yourself as separate, just like what Bill Gates and all them different one not. Because the love that was not there,
Right.
now the relationship has dissolved. It's no longer. So you got to have love when it comes to relationship. Because like I said, the sexual part is it's going to die down. You gonna change,
Mm-hmm.
she gonna change. All that's gonna change over a time. But you still got to have that love. If you ain't got love there, because love is one of the things that brings you through that broke time in your life when you don't have
Right.
the money to pay the bills, when ends things can't come together. That's what takes you through those hardship times of the relationship.
Why?
So you
Well,
got
I
to have
guess y'all
love
say it
there.
don't cost a kiss.
That came
Now,
out of
now,
I
nowhere.
just had to throw that in there.
maybe later.
You can't you can't build nobody to kiss. You can't
That'll be seven.
cash out. Cash out.
Cash out me.
yes, yes, Doc.
Yes,
Hit me
yes,
up.
Valerie, I'm fanning for you. Talk about he gonna be deep.
Yeah,
Oh
it
my
goes like I
goodness.
said. When it comes to relationships, you got to have more than just a physical touch. You got to have the love there. And when there's
Yes.
no love there, it will surely dissolve and fade away. So all these young women that think they want to get married right now, once you get married, there's a whole nother rim that you step into because marriage is work. I don't care
Mm-hmm.
who. you're married to, it's going to be work involved in a relationship to develop that relationship to make you, to make it to what you want it to be. It's going to take effort. It's going
Wow.
to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of sacrifice
Mhm.
in making that relationship that people can look and admire it and want to be, or want to have someone like that in their own personal life. So it's a lot of work into it. So don't count it lightly. Just because you got married, that is not going to resolve all your issues. That is
Right.
not. So when a woman
Right.
or a man think that's going to resolve it, no, it's going to add to it. Because even when you're married, you still going to have people that's attracted to you,
Right.
people that's going to try to hit on you. All right.
Mhm.
But if you're not secure in your relationship, you can easily walk away from it. But you
Mhm.
got to be secure in your relationship with that person that you're with.
I love it. I love it. Y'all, we have to do part two. Can I get y'all to commit to part two?
I got to cool off from this pastor first. Before I can do mine. I need to have a couple of weeks just to be
No,
able
Pastor, that's you, Pastor. That's the Pope, y'all. The Pope. The Pope is a mess, y'all. Pope went deep on it tonight.
Didn't he?
to. See, I can't be talked about on this show no more. I'm just not appreciating this right now. I just,
You know
I'm
you
talking
are.
about.
You know you are appreciated. That we would
No, I'm just
Oh
appreciate
talking.
my goodness.
round two.
All right,
Yes,
I
So
got
okay,
to
now let me
go.
ask y'all this: for all of you that are listening, whether you're on YouTube or whether you are on Facebook, if y'all have enjoyed them and if y'all want them to come on back and do a part two of this because we didn't get to get to all the questions, I need y'all to let them know. I need y'all to hit that like button. I need y'all to show them some love in the comments. Let us know if you want part two. Hit that like button. Show me some love so that they will know that you all appreciate them. I don't want them to leave tonight and not know that the things that they have shared, that they have poured out, that you all appreciate them. So hit that love button. Oh, I see they say, yes, come back. Come on back, pastors. Part two. Part two. So we'll have to check with their schedules to make sure that they come back so that we can get some of these other questions answered. And if you want to support what we're doing here on Church Girl Chats, Pastor did talk about the Cash App. You can always Cash App Church Girl Chats at Cheryl Thomas Speaks, $ Cheryl Thomas Speaks. If you want to be a blessing to what we do here. God has really, really blessed us, and He's blessing me with some wonderful content, some wonderful ideas. So I want to be a blessing as we move forward. So hit that Cash App, $ Cheryl Thomas Speaks. And we see Ruling Elder Damon says, great job, pastors. The comments are just coming in. Part two is a must. Yes, Leslie says, please come back for part two. We need some more answers. We need more answers.
Leslie, Leslie, you're the close one to me, so don't.
No, they want y'all back. We got more questions that need answering. So we'll check their schedules, y'all. And thank you for letting me know in the comments. Because one of my heart's desires is to help single women of one that I am um, learn more about men because I heard one of my mentors talking about he did a book called Man Talk and he said, do you talk man? And I was like, I don't talk man. I need to learn how to speak in a language that men comprehend. And so
mm-hmm.
by having these conversations, it helps women understand the way men think. It helps us understand your heart, what you are looking for in relationships, and how we can better prepare ourselves for that. And so I'm so excited about that. And I also want to say as we close out the show that I'm so excited, you all. We're getting ready to on tomorrow night to launch a brand new show called Church Girl Rants. Y'all see how the Church Girl Empire is growing? We got
Praise
Church Girl
God.
Nation, Church Girl Chats,
That's
and now
awesome.
tomorrow we are
Amen.
Praise.
launching Church Girl Rants. It will happen every Tuesday. We'll start season 1 tomorrow night at 8. And I'm bringing two of my good girlfriends, Sharon Grant, Evangelist Sharon Grant, and Pastor Chrissy Vickers will be my host for it, my co-host on the show. I'm so excited. We're going to talk about everything from singleness to the culture of Christianity, how that is evolving, and how single Christians play a role in that. We're going to talk about Christian culture. We're going to talk about regular culture. Tomorrow night's show, we're going to be talking about, and we touched on this, Pastor Jonathan, about how we look at other people's lives, and sometimes we are jealous of their lives, we are envious of their lives, not knowing that what we see is not true. Just recently, we've had so many celebrity relationship gurus who have been exposed.
Hmm.
And so we're going to talk about how, if you're going to really have a mentor or somebody whose relationship that you want to model, you got to know them. Because I can
Right.
present anything to you on social media. That doesn't mean I love
Right.
my husband. That doesn't mean I love my wife. That means I'm showing you something that is not true. And so we have to be careful when we are saying like relationship goals. Will and Jada was relationship goals till we find out about the little situation, the entanglements
Right.
that were
Right.
going on.
Right.
Like, wait a
Right.
minute, what is this? And so we have to be careful when we idolize relationships that we don't have a real up close view of. When I say relationship goals, I look at my parents who've been married, what, almost 55 years. That's relationship goals because I get to see them
Hmm.
interact with
Right.
each other. That's not fake. That's something that I know that is tried and true. Pastor Jonathan, when you look at your parents, that's relationship goals. Their marriages have stood the test of time. Pastor Nolan, when I look at you and Pastor Sheila, that's relationship goals because I know I can see the fruit. And
Hmm.
that doesn't mean that my parents have a perfect marriage. That doesn't mean that Pastor Jonathan's parents have a perfect marriage. That doesn't mean that Pastor Nolan has a perfect marriage, but it's a good one and it has
Hmm.
lasted. And so we are thankful. It looked like we lost Pastor Jonathan. He just went blank on us. But
Yes, it did.
he was trying to get out quick. But I want to, and hopefully he can hear this. Thank you all so much for being willing to be on the show just to answer our questions. And I want to let you know how much we appreciate your time, your energy, your effort, and your honesty in sharing with us, helping us be better, helping us learn more, and just grow from what you have poured out and what you have shared. I totally appreciate it. I know that everybody that is on here, um, Facebook and YouTube, they appreciate it as well. And so, thank you so much for your time, your efforts, and your energy. And as we leave, do you have any parting words that you want to say before we leave?
No, I've greatly enjoyed myself being a part of this chat on tonight. It's been a blessing to me just to be with you and Pastor Jay on tonight, to be able to interact and kind of give what um, we've experienced through life and what we also see sometimes that's happening in life. So I really have enjoyed myself, and hopefully, in the near future, we can come back and do a part two. I would love to be a part. I have no problem with it. I'll be doing a part two because I think it's needed that we can come and discuss matters of the heart, and that's really what it is, matters of the heart. That
Yes.
we're all trying to find solutions and answers to make us all better. And so, if there's something that we can share to make your life better or to make our life better, so it is all about we help us one to the other. So thank you for the invitation, for being a part of this, and I pray that we have said something that has been a blessing to the listeners that have listened to us tonight. Because I believe in keeping it real when
Yes.
it comes to choosing a mate and trying to find someone. I was sharing with I think one of my deacons the other day about when it came to the time of me looking for a mate to marry Pastor Sheila. And I went to Bishop. Bishop Emeritus, he was my, my pastor in Gainesville, Florida. And I went to Bishop. Bishop is uh, Sheila is Bishop's niece. And I thought for
Mm-hmm.
sure when I went to Bishop and we told him we was thinking about getting married, we just figured he was going to tell her yes right on the spot. Not
Mm-hmm.
so. You Bishop said, "I got to pray
Got to
about
pray
this."
about it.
you know, yes, sir. He had to pray about it. And so months went by, and we would say, "You got an answer?" He said, "No, I ain't heard nothing from the Lord yet. Concerning your relationship." We're like, "Well, what's wrong with us?" But by taking the man of God instructions and listening to what he told us when the Lord released us, when the Lord released him to tell us yes, it has worked.
Mm-hmm.
It has went through the test of time. And anything that anyone that know Bishop, if Bishop
Mm-hmm.
tell you yes about something that the Lord has told him, you can write a check on that and cash it in the bank. That's how sure, Amen. When the Lord would give him the answer, he was, and I never had anyone that came back and say, Bishop, you was wrong. Anytime
Mm-hmm.
Bishop told you it was okay to marry, you can you can bank on that and know that will be sure. So what I'm saying, sometimes it's good to go to your leadership to make
Right.
sure that they're in tune with what you're trying to do. Don't always try to get around. Don't try to slip somebody in that's not saved and not delivered and think you're going to help them get saved. That's a whole nother, so that may be on part two. Don't try to slip them in
Right.
because you maybe maybe setting yourself up for something that you don't really know about. So I would say thank you once again for letting me be a part of this discussion on tonight.
Thank you. I enjoyed you so much. Pastor Jonathan, do you want to have any parting words?
Sure, you're doing a great job. I think you're helping people, and I know you're helping people, and you just keep doing what you're doing. And I speak blessings over what you're doing. You know, I
Hmm.
think this is what my fourth show, maybe, at least three. But
I think it is
I
4.
I have to believe in you to do four shows,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean that because I think you're helping people, and you're doing a great job.
Amen.
And all of you that are out there, um, support your own. And one thing about it, I know Cheryl is sincere. I've had a lot of opportunity in my life to meet a lot of people. Um,
Hmm.
NBA, NFL, Hollywood, the whole and the church stars.
Mm-hmm.
When you find somebody who can care about you for real and want to see you
Right.
successful, support what you're doing, support what she's doing. You're doing a great job. Very, very proud of you. And um, I just want to see you successful at what you're doing. I want you happy. I want
Yes.
God to bless you with someone who sees your value and willing to help you build that empire together of helping people in relationships. And I think God is preparing you for
Yes.
them, and hopefully somewhere God is preparing him for you. And
Amen. I
just
receive it.
want to see you happy. And remember this, just for
Hmm.
all of us, a smile is the greatest thing that you can bring. One of the greatest things you can bring, like Pastor said about love.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're afraid to get your man of God to pray about, like Pastor Nolan said, or your woman of God, if you're afraid, if you don't want to go, if you don't want somebody to pray about your marriage,
Mm-hmm.
you have just admitted that there's a problem that you don't want the one to face.
Right. Right.
Right.
Right.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, just so let's be happy, let's laugh, let's do what we got to do. Ladies, right now, with social distancing and COVID, you don't need to be laying at no one's feet. Y'all be blessed. And I love you all. And I'm out.
Boy, you're a mess. You are a mess, Reverend.
Well, we love you too, both of you. Thank you again so much. You all, if you all have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, y'all go ahead and do that. It's everything is for me is Cheryl Thomas Speaks, so you can go ahead to my YouTube channel and subscribe to that. Make sure that you hit that up. And as we leave on tonight, I'm going to leave with the promo for Church Girl Rants, and we will see you all later. Thanks so much. God bless you.